Welcome to Dana & Associates. I'm Rylas Dana. We practice in probate, trust administration, and estate planning in Arizona and California. If you need help with some of those issues, give us a call today, 480-924-4424. Mention this video and we'll waive the fee for the in-person meetings. That's right, we're back in the office. It's great to see people back in the office again. To celebrate, we're waiving the fee for in-person meetings for people that view this video, and we have a couple other promotions if you see those, and so it gives you a way to waive the cost of meetings in person. So you can come see us in our Mesa office, Scottsdale office, Chandler office. All of those are in Arizona, of course, and then we have one office in California, North San Diego County in Encinitas. So we will be offering some appointments over there as well. So give us a call today if that's what you're looking for. The rest of this video, I want to talk about modern estate planning, what that means, what it means to practice law in the modern age, not just digital asset planning. I will talk about that more and how new laws have helped us plan for things that we're now doing electronically, like bank statements, emails, and digital photos versus the old way of doing things. But I also want to talk about how the practice of law is changing. So how we're changing, and this is why you should do business with us, or should help you find a lawyer if you're in a jurisdiction outside of Arizona and California. These will be some things to consider. So one thing I want to talk about is empowerment. So this is, modern law. I think of empowerment. It's one of our core values. So what does that mean? It means that we try to educate our clients, give them advice, teach them, and let them choose. This is opposed to what I'll call the old way. The old school way is based upon fear and just that you should do what the attorney says because they're smarter than you. I feel like the new consumer, that doesn't fly as much. They want to know what's happening, and they want to be empowered to make decisions for themselves. So some of the shift is, just gotta remember the internet is still not that old in the whole scheme of things in the legal world. And some of the older attorneys, they're used to controlling the information. They're not used to people being able to look up and Google and find the answers to things and find the laws and relevant cases even, and all of that stuff. So in the old days, the old school attorneys, they didn't have to be very good. That's how I view it. They controlled the information, so the public was forced to go to them to access that information. Since the internet, that's really kind of changed things. So it's changed the role of lawyers some. I feel like to be a good lawyer, that means more than just providing information. Information is now freely available. So a lawyer is about giving guidance and service. So it's about, where the old school way is, based upon fear. The new way is about, guiding people and showing them the service that you can provide, and then, clients wanting to hire an attorney because of the help that they offer. So law is a service-based business. So lawyers provide a service. If they don't provide a good service, they're not going to be around much longer. As technology and other things emerge, it's made that more relevant, that there's options to attorneys. There's a lot of options to attorneys where, not too long ago, you'd be forced to go to an attorney for a simple contract or things like that you can now download and print and sign all from your living room. So attorneys have to be mindful of that, realize that people want convenience. It's got to be easy. And for attorneys to exist, they have to, make things as easy as possible for their clients. That's the business that we're in. I know I've met a lot of attorneys who are very bright, very smart, but just not very good at interacting with clients. They have a hard time interacting with them and just working well together. Modern law, it's also about adjusting to new technology. And by new technology, I'm still talking about the internet. Yeah, it's been around for a while. It's not that new anymore, but it's really changed things. In my field of estate planning, The internet and the shift to email and online banking and the transfer of information electronically versus the older way of paper bank statements, and mailing and banking in person with more documents. The way it's changed estate planning is what happens after a person passes away or suddenly becomes ill. Now, a very common phone call that we still receive is people call us after those situations and they ask us, how do I find out where they're banking at? How do I find out what assets this person has? I have the trust saying I'm in charge, or I have their power of attorney giving me the authority, but how do I figure out where this person's dealings are at? So in the olden days, we could start looking for the paper trail. The new era, how much is on paper? So that's where modern estate planning comes in, that allows for digital asset planning. So there was a law passed, Arizona passed it in 2016, in 2017 in California, RUFADA, Revised Uniform Fiduciary Access to Digital Asset Act. So this law, I got really excited when I saw this pending legislation because I saw that this is finally a way to update the estate planning process. Finally a way to give better answers when people call my office searching for information. So here's what we've come up with. Here's what our process is, our modern estate planning process, a specific example of how new laws have shifted the estate planning process. So in our trust, wills, power of attorney, and all of those estate planning documents, we now give the general authority for the trustee or the agent in the power of attorney. We give the general authority for them to get an inventory. So an inventory of information about your accounts. So they have the right to call the bank, and the bank can tell them what account you have there. They can tell them the type of account, whether it's an IRA or if it's a savings account. They can tell you who the owner is, whether that's the person individually or their trust or a business entity, and they can tell you who the beneficiary is, if there is a beneficiary of the account. So that general information is what your trustee needs to do their job. It's what the agent in the power of attorney is looking for in order to manage your affairs. So we now give them the general ability to access that information. Now, the other way that we've updated our legal process, the estate planning process through modern laws, is the digital asset trust. We've created a digital asset trust as a way to give more specific instructions. Now, I recommend that people with email, which is mostly everyone, that they give their trustee the ability to get a list of emails received for the last 12 months. Not the ability to read the messages, not the whole password to the email account, just the ability to get a list of emails for the last 12 months. So why do I recommend that? Well, when everything was on paper, after someone suddenly passed away or suddenly became ill, that was the best way that we could figure out what was going on. The best way was to start getting their mail, see what shows up in the mail, see what bank statements, see what account statements show up, see what credit card statements show up. So the modern way is email. So I recommend giving limited access to the trustee to email, just so they can figure out where you're banking at and where you might have bills at. And then they can use their authority as the trustee to access those accounts. So digital assets, it's about information. It's about sharing information and giving the authority over information. Now, the other type of digital information I'm concerned about passing is media, photos, videos. Now, if they're stored in a shoebox and they're printed out, the pictures, we can pass those. But if they're in an iPhone backed up in the iCloud, read the iCloud Terms of Service Agreement. By default, those accounts pass away. They die with the person. So it's important to make plans for data, for photos and videos especially, that you're storing online. So in the digital asset trust, we can give instructions to copy your iCloud account, copy your YouTube channel, copy your Amazon photo or Google Drive or whatever it may be. So that's an example about of how estate planning has become more modern in the last few years, and some things to look for in an estate planning attorney. So check us out. Again, you can call us at 480-924-4424 for your estate planning, trust, and probate needs in Arizona and California. If it's 3 a.m., you can just leave us a voicemail, or you can go to our website, danalegalhelp.com, and you can shoot us an email through that contact form. Thank you, everyone. Happy second quarter. Welcome back to the office. It's good to see you in person, and we look forward to working with you.